is senior night for the Concordia Chicago men's volleyball team. And before we begin play tonight, we want to take a few minutes to recognize our 6 senior players and all they have done for the men's volleyball program in these early years of its formation. We begin with number 2, Tavares Williams. Tavares is accompanied by his mother, Amanda. He's from Fox Lake, Illinois. He has played in 13 matches with 27 sets played in his 2 years on the Cougar men's volleyball team. Going into tonight's match, Tavares has scored a total of 19 points with 15 kills and a .214 hitting percentage. A game high for Tavares came at the Concordia, Wisconsin match last season where he had 3 total blocks. His favorite moment as a Cougar was when they beat Benedictine earlier this season right here at Geisman. Tavares will be graduating with a degree in sports management. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication, Tavares Williams. Number 3, Colby Campbell. Colby is accompanied by his father, Matt, and his mother, Carrie. He is from Brookfield, Illinois. Colby has played in 47 matches with a total of 164 sets played in his 2 years as a Cougar. Going into tonight's match, Colby has scored a total of 260 points, 147 kills, 55 digs, and a .267 hitting percentage. Known for his success at the net, Colby has 166 total blocks in his career and averages 1.01 blocks per set. Colby currently holds the school record for most career block assists with 142 and total blocks with 166. In individual season records, Colby was able to surpass the block solo record with 24, broke his own record in block assists with 83, and total blocks with 101. He also overtook the single game records for total blocks, block assists, and solo blocks this season. Colby's favorite moment in time as a Cougar is when they defeated Benedictine for the first time in school history. Colby will be graduating this spring with a degree in history. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication, Colby Campbell. Number 4, Luke Vozemelik. Luke is accompanied by his mother, Sharon, and his father, Tony. He is from Westmont, Illinois, having played in 71 matches with a total of 247 sets played in his 4 years as a Cougar. As of today, Luke has scored a total of 1,172 points, 1,012 kills, 434 digs, 132 total blocks, 78 service aces, and a .245 hitting percentage. Luke surpassed his career marking with 1,000 kills just 2 nights ago, a first in Cougar men's volleyball history. Luke currently holds the record for most career kills, attack attempts with 2,407, service aces with 78, digs with 434, solo blocks with 32, and total points. So far this season, Luke has already passed his own record in kills with 335, attack attempts with 802, solo blocks with 13, and points with 399. In individual game records, Luke holds the record for most kills, attack attempts, attack percentage, and points. His accolades include being an ABCA All-American, ABCA West Region Newcomer of the Year, NAC Freshman of the Year, and 3-time All-NAC First Team. Luke has also been a member of the Dean's List and a NAC Scholar Athlete. His favorite memory in his time as a Cougar was his freshman year team bonding trip to Green Lake, Wisconsin, and running into a frozen lake just for fun. Luke will be graduating this spring with a degree in accounting. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication, Luke Vozetalik. Number 9, Tyler Holloway. Tyler is accompanied by his mother, Michelle, and his father, Scott. He is from New Lenox, Illinois. He's played in 55 matches, a total of 198 sets played. In his 4 years as a Cougar. Going into tonight, Tyler has scored a total of 671 points, 564 kills, 118 total blocks, 382 digs, 38 service aces, and a .223 hitting percentage. Tyler sits among the top 5 in the Cougar record books in career kills, attack attempts with 1,386, assists with 485, service aces, digs, solo blocks with 20, block assists 98, total blocks and points. So far this season, Tyler has found himself in the top 5 in season kills with 349, attack attempts with 847, service aces with 20, digs 183, block assists 48, total blocks 54, and points 399. Tyler has taken the record for most kills in a match against Wabash earlier this season with 28. Last season, Tyler earned the accolade of All-NAC Honorable Mention in his junior year. Tyler has also been a multi-year member of the Dean's List and NAC Scholar Athlete. His favorite moment in his time as a Cougar was getting 28 kills against Wabash, beating Dominican and Benedictine for the first time in school history, as well as all the times hanging out with the guys and building friendships that will last a lifetime. He says they truly are a second family to me. Tyler will be graduating this spring with a degree in physical education. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication, Tyler Holloway. Number 12, Chris Livesey. Chris is accompanied by his father, Jim, and his mother, Debbie. He is from Medina, Illinois. Chris has played in 74 matches, a total of 247 sets played in his 4 years as a Cougar. As of today, Chris has picked up a total of 248 digs, 20 service aces, and 32 assists. He sits among the top 5 in Cougar history for digs. In individual game records, Chris currently holds the second highest amount of digs in one match with 17, that coming against Adrian last season. He's been a multi-year member of the Dean's List and NAC Scholar Athletes. His favorite moment in time as a Cougar was going to Wisconsin last year and getting to hang out with the team there. Chris will be graduating this spring with a degree in computer science. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication, Chris Livesey. And number 21, Matthew Lambs. He has played in 44 matches, 93 sets played in his 4 years as a Cougar. As of today, Matt has scored a total of 98.5 points, 80 kills, 66 digs, and 22 total blocks. A game high came for Matt in a match against St. Norbert last year, where he recorded 7 kills in the match. He has been a multi-year member of the Dean's List and NAC Scholar Athletes. His favorite memory in his time as a Cougar was going to the lake house with the team last year. Matt will be graduating this spring with a degree in marketing. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication, Matt Lance. Cougar fans, let's have one big collective round of applause for our seniors and for their families that have supported them and the men's volleyball program these last 4 years. We wish our seniors the best of luck and God's blessings in your future endeavors. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Dawn, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Good evening and welcome to Geisman Gymnasium on this Thursday night for the final game of the regular season for your Concordia University Chicago Cougars as they play host to the Eagles of Edgewood College. A lot going on tonight. It's senior night, and for the Cougars' playoff chances, it's do or die. If the Cougars come out with a win, they still have a shot at a playoff seed. If they get a little help from some other NAC opponents, however, if the Cougars drop tonight's matchup to this Eagles squad, that will be it for the regular season. But before we get to the actual game, what's going on the court, we do have to mention the 6 seniors who were honored pre-game for this little warm-up segment. First, it was number 2, Tavares Williams. Throughout his Cougars career, he's played in 13 matches with 27 sets. That's only been in 2 years. He scored a total of 19 points, 15 kills while collecting a .214 hitting percentage. So thank you, Tav, for all your hard work and dedication to this Cougars squad in your admittedly short time on the team, but already has made a big impact since he arrived on the squad last season. The next senior honored was number 3, Colby Campbell. He's played in 47 matches and 164 sets during his time as a Cougar. However, where Colby really became known for was his presence at the net. 166 total blocks in his career. He currently holds the record for most career block assists as a Cougar with 142 and total blocks as a Cougar with 166. In terms of individual season records, he surpassed the block solo record with 24, his own record in block assists with 83, and total blocks with 101. He's also taken over single game records for total blocks, assists, block assists, and solo blocks this very season. So Campbell, one of the best middle blockers, not only in the NAC, but in the nation, as he's up there in the national rankings as well, playing in his last regular season game as a Cougar. Trying to make it not the last game overall, though, as this Cougars team making a push for those playoffs next senior was number 4, Luke Vozenelik. Vozenelik, one of the most accomplished Cougars in this program's history. He's made All-American teams, West Region Newcomer of the Year, NAC Freshman of the Year, 3-time All-NAC first team. That's at one for every season he's been here. The records under Vozenelik's names are almost too many to count, And just the other night, on Tuesday night against MSOE, he broke the career total of 1,000 career kills, the first Cougar to ever do that in program history. So Vozenelik's going to go out as possibly the most feared attacker in Cougar history. And as I mentioned with Campbell, he's looking to make it one more game with the playoff push. Tyler Hallbeck also honored tonight, has really shown this year in the attacking category, moving from setter last year, now as a pure hitter. He's been racking up the totals. He's top 5 in records such as career kills, attack attempts, assists, service aces, digs, solo blocks, block assists, total blocks, and points. So Hallbeck really making his name known. And we're running out of times in the warm-up, so we're going to save the other 2 seniors, Chris Livesay and Matthew Lambs, for after the national anthem and starting lineups, which we're going to get to right now. Down at court level, you're watching the Cougar Sports Network. Peter Borkowski with you on the call. We're going to send it down to the court and then be right back up here for tonight's game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Geisman Gymnasium for tonight's Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference men's volleyball match between the Eagles of Edgewood College and the Cougars of Concordia University, Chicago. Let's meet the starting lineup. First, for our visitors from Madison, Wisconsin, the Eagles. The libero is senior number 5, Dylan Griffith. Sophomore outside hitter number 4, Gavin Patterson. Freshman center number 8, Will Gerke. Chapman. Freshman, opposite side hitter, number 12, Ryder Hill Zastro. Sophomore, outside hitter, number 13, Max Dermody. And freshman, middle blocker, number 18, Owen Hartridge. Assistant coaches are Cooper Kemnitz, Brittany Reynolds, Jason Scheidley, and Katie Newberger, and the head coach of the Eagles is Jeff Thomas. And now, here are the starters for your Concordia Chicago Cougars. The libero is junior, number 1, Blake Wilson. Senior, middle blocker, number 3, Colby Campbell. Senior, outside hitter, number 4, Luke Bozelik. Junior, outside hitter, number 7, David Vale. Senior, opposite side hitter, number 9, Tyler Holloway. Freshman, center, number 11, Eli Mosher. And freshman, middle blocker, number 18, Andre Muller. Assistant coach is Peter Kowski, and the coach of the Cougars is Greg Manos.
There you have it, your starters for the night. Let's run it through one more time before we get to the action. For the Eagles of Edgewood College, it's number 4, Gavin Patterson, number 8, Will Gerke, number 11, Jake Chapman, number 12, Ryder Hill Zastro, number 13, Max Dermody, and number 18, Owen Hartjes. The libero for the Eagles is number 5, Dylan Griffith. Meanwhile, for the Cougars, the starters are number 3, Colby Campbell, number 4, Luke Bozelik, number 7, David Vales, number 9, Tyler Holloway, number 11, Eli Mosher, number 18, Andre Muller, and the libero is number 1, Blake Rosen. Now, those two seniors we didn't have time for in the pregame. Let's talk about them now. Number 12, Chris Livesay, honored before the game. 74 matches with the Cougars, 247 sets in his 4 years, over 240 career digs, 20 service aces, and over 30 assists. He sits top 5 in Cougars history for digs in individual game records. He holds a second amount of digs with 17 against Adrian last season, multi-year member of the Dean's List and NAC Scholar athlete. So thank you, Chris, for all the hard work and dedication you put into this program. And then the last senior honor tonight, number 21, Matthew Lambs. Matt, 44 matches played in his time as a Cougar, 93 sets played. He scored over 98 points, 80 kills, 66 digs, and 22 total blocks. The game high for Matt came against St. Norbert last season, where he grabbed 7 kills in the match. And just like Mr. Livesay, multi-year member of the Dean's List and NAC Scholar athlete. So thank you, Matthew Lambs, as well for your dedication as a Cougar. But with the 6 seniors being honored, that leads us into the match, and it starts with a kill for one of those 6 seniors, Luke Bozelik. Gets the Cougars off on the right foot. But other than just being senior night and a big night for the Cougars in that way, it's also a big night for playoff implications. Cougars currently sitting 1 spot out of a playoff berth at 6-5 in the conference record. Edgewood firmly out of the playoff race with 3-7 in NAC play, but essentially the Cougars need to win tonight and then get some help from some NAC opponents in the upcoming days against Marion and Dominican, who are the 2 teams above the Cougars. However, if the Eagles are able to take down the Cougars here on home court tonight, CUC season will be ended. So CUC's first step is pick up a win here and hope for some Dominican and Marion losses in their last couple of games this season. But back here in Geisman, the Cougars retake the lead off the block up front. Campbell and Vozenelik to the right of the Eagles get the block and the point, and now that'll send Eli Mosher back to serve. Mosher, the freshman, having an outstanding season so far, currently sits at 5th in conference play with assist percent at just over 8.7, and the Cougars earn another point as the ladder official says a Eagles attack hit the pin. So Mosher's next serve right at Vozenelik, who flipped it up. However, it ends up dying down for the Edgewood point. So now into serve for Edgewood, it's Ryder Hill Zastro. He was able to play his serve. Vozenelik sent it right into the chest of Patterson. That block sent back to the Eagles. Now that block shoved back in the face of Patterson. Cougars get the point off of it, and they build their lead back up to 2 as Vozenelik goes back to serve. Vozenelik's serve is good, as Campbell sends it over the net with a one-handed bop. Now this one over the Cougars blockers. They're able to get control of it though. A little scramble there from the Eagles. Keep it alive. David Vales goes for the kill and gets it. Cougars up by Trey now as Vozenelik goes back to serve. Cougars up 5-2 in the early goings. Blocked up front. Hollaback keeps it alive. Mosher puts it back in play for CUC, and now Campbell goes for the dunk. Edgewood's right there. Mosher the set to Hollaback, too much on it as that goes out of bounds. Cougars have found most of their success this season at home. 9-6 home record. So 9 of their 13 wins total have come here on Geisman. Meanwhile, on the road, Edgewood 2-5. The majority of their losses have actually come at home, as that one takes a bounce off some Eagles' fingertips and goes out. And now coming into the serve is the freshman, Deontay Garcia. So he gets the sign from first-year head coach of CUC, Greg Manos. And now there seems to be some confusion as Garcia has to check in the right way. So now he'll get set to serve now that proper protocol has been reestablished. Edgewood able to play the Garcia serve. That one slowing down up front. Diving save there for Mills. And that one blocked and out of bounds. Edgewood point as they pull within 2 now. And the go back to serve is Patterson, the 6'1" sophomore out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. Played by Vozenelik. Here goes Hollaback, blocked up front. Cougars are going to have to reestablish their attack as Vales, that's dug out by Griffith. And now an equally good dig from Blake Rosen, pushed over by Vozenelik. Edgewood right there on top of it. And that goes out of bounds off the Patterson attack. And Cougars back up by 3 now. Tyler Hollaback to serve. Blocked by Moeller and Vales. And now a whistle blown. Double touch called on the Eagles. So Cougars earn themselves another point, doubling up the Eagles now, 8-4. And nice defensive effort from Rosen as Vozenel extends the freebie over. And that goes out. Point Cougars. Able to avoid touching the ball before it travels out. So Hollaback to serve now. Popped up, Eagles on the attack, blocked up front, not strong enough. No, we're the two freshmen, Moeller and Mosher. So Eagles cut the lead back down to 4. He's going back to serve is Dermody, sophomore on this Eagles squad. Way too much on that one as it goes out. Cougars regain control. Eagles wearing their black jersey and shorts tonight with white lettering. Meanwhile, the Libero Griffith in the red jersey with white lettering, as that block goes out. Eagles point. Cougars in their home white jerseys with gold numbering and lettering. Meanwhile, Blake Rosen, Libero for the Cougars, wearing the all-maroon fit with the white lettering. Vozenelik sets up that serve, and a rocket there from Vozenelik. Hits Patterson in the chest. He can't do much about it as it goes out of bounds. Mentioned all the records that Vozenelik has accumulated during his time as a Cougar, some of which include career kills, attack attempts, service aces, digs, solo blocks, and points. Meanwhile, this season he's already passed the season records he set himself, including kills, attack attempts, solo blocks, and points. Holds single game records for most kills, attack attempts, attack percentage, and points. The accolades do not make up a short list for Vozenelik. As a attack from Colby Campbell, and not expecting that out of the middle blocker. Catches the Eagles off guard. Cougars up by 5 now. As Mosher is set to serve. Too much on that serve as it goes out. Point Eagles. And that'll send Hill Zastro back to serve. Zil Zastro on the season. 4 service aces versus 26 service errors coming in tonight. As there's another service error to add to the total. And that'll send Vozenelik back to serve. Eagles set up their attack. Cougars able to stop it though. As Hollaback pushes that one over. Eagles forced to respond, and a good kill there from the middle blocker, Owen Harches, the 6'5" freshman out of Appleton, Wisconsin. Barely had to jump up for that one with those long arms of his. Is now serving was Keegan Talbot, excuse me. Whistle blown. Point goes to the Cougars, up by 5 once more, and Dante Garcia checks in, now sporting a headband. Mid-game wardrobe adjustment for the freshman as he gets set to serve now. Successful serve. Edgewood forced to respond. Moeller puts it right back up front. And another block. Vales and Moeller. This one ends in a point. There it is indeed, as the Cougars put themselves now just 10 points away from set point. Trying to take set one here this Thursday night. Cougars and Eagles, major playoff implications on the line for CUC. Just one spot out of the playoffs right now. They need a win tonight to stay within the race, as well as a couple Marion and or Dominican losses. Zenelik goes down for that dig. Hollabeck sends it over. Eagles flip it over. A little sneak attack there from Gerke. Good defense from both squads. That one blocked up front. No one in the vicinity, though, to get the rebound, and the Eagles pull back within 4. And now it'll set Patterson to the service line. A soft one. Rosen has to come all the way, and it's slamming it right back was Dermody, but violation called on the Eagles, so point goes to the Cougars instead. And now Hollabeck serve. Big block up front. Diving dig for Griffith. Falling dig for Griffith, let's call it. And the Eagles able to turn it into a point. Catch Blake Rosen falling the wrong way and regain control of the serve for Max Dermody. Dermody serve, too much sauce on it as it goes out of bounds. And now Cougars up by 5 again for David Vales' serve. See how far Vales likes to go back on his serves. And he does a good job of it, as well, as there's a service ace for David Vales on the season. Service ace number 10 for the junior. And blocked up front, Moeller and Mosher. Now they're going to go at him again. This one gets past the 2 freshmen, but the Cougars able to keep control, and a rocket from Vozenelik bounces off the hands of Griffith and out of play. And that's going to be a timeout called by Jeff Thomas, third-year head coach of Edgewood. His team currently trailing the Cougars by 7. We're going to take a quick break here on the Cougar Sports Network, but don't go anywhere. Cougars up 19-12. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, Peter Borkowski joining you tonight. Cougars taking it to Edgewood right now, up 19-12. Forced the timeout from Coach Thomas and his Eagles. Trying to play spoiler to the Cougars' playoff chances. CUC, with a loss tonight, will be knocked out of contention as they currently sit 1 seed out of the playoffs at 7. Right ahead them is Dominican at 6, who CUC has beat earlier in the season, and then Marion at 5, who defeated the Cougars right here in Geisman. A reverse sweep down 2-0 the Sabres were before roaring back to take it in 5. So a lot on stake tonight for CUC as there's a point for Edgewood. And now to serve is Jake Chapman. sophomore middle blocker for Edgewood. And Moeller, the attempt. It's popped all the way up. A freebie has to be sent over. Rosen for Moeller, for Mosher for Moeller, excuse me. Got my two freshmen mixed up. Moeller finishes off the set from Mosher. And the Cougars now just 5 away from taking set 1. And hoping no one can stop them now. It's Chris Livesay in to serve. Livesay. Eagles errant attack there from Hill Zastro. That brings the Cougars 1 point closer to set point. And now too strong a hit there from Hill Zastro. And the Cougars build their lead up to 9-3 away. From taking the set. So that number's gonna stay at 3 for this volley as the Eagles get a point back. Will Gerke do the serve? Cougars able to play it. Here goes the attempt from Lambs, and it earns a point. Matthew Lambs making an appearance on his senior night. Brings his team just a pair of points away from going up 1-0 in the match. Now high set there, and going for the dunk was Harches. Cougars able to play it though. Here goes Lambs, another attempt, bounces off some Eagles claws, and now Cougars are here at set point. And now their substitution, Tavares Davis Williams into the game. Serving is Mosher. This one sent back to the Cougar side. Mosher's going to set up Davis Williams. Saved at the borders of the out-of-bounds lines by Dermody. Now the Cougars back on the prowl. Block there and touches the ground. Edgewood pulls back within 9. No room for error if you're the team in black right now. Cougars need 1 point just to take the set. As it's Hill Zastro to serve, and it hits the net. There's that mistake. The Cougars, they're going to take set 1, 25-15. Some of the stat leaders before we head to break. Dermody and Vozelic leading the match in kills with 3 apiece. Meanwhile, 4 players, Hollebeck, Lambs on the Cougars, and then Patterson and Chapman on the Eagles all have 2 kills each. Assist leader currently Eli Mosher with 9. Just one behind him is Will Gerke with 8. And then right now the digs leader is also Mosher with 5, though Dylan Griffith just one behind him with 4. But that'll do it for set 1, 25-15 in favor of CUC. They take a 1-0 lead into the second set, which we'll have that coming up for you here on the Cougar Sports Network in just a minute. About a minute left on the break in between set 1 and set 2. Cougars took set 1 25-14. A stat correction on my part said 25-15 earlier. It was 25-14. And they're going to go into the second set up 1-0 on the Eagles. Some of the team statistics: Cougars hitting percentage at a solid .241 right now. Meanwhile, Edgewood all the way down at .027. Kills tied 10 apiece. Attack errors largely more for the Eagles, 9 to the Cougars 3. Cougars have more set errors, however. Service errors also more given out to the Eagles, 4 to the Cougars 1. 13 digs each, 3-1 blocks in favor of CUC. And that's how we got to our current score here as the teams make their way back out of the court. Senior night here at CUC. Luke Vozenelik, Colby Campbell, Tyler Hollaback, Matthew Lambs, Tavares Williams, and Chris Libsey all being honored tonight in their final regular season game as a Cougar. And if they pick up a win here, there's a good chance they will have another game wearing the maroon and gold. A win in this game would put the Cougars in a nice spot. They still have to rely on a loss to Dominican and or Marion to make that happen. But it all starts tonight as they need to get the job done against Edgewood. Coach Manos talked about that in today's Coaches Weekly, where he said essentially Cougars need to look at this as a task to complete, roll up their sleeves, and get the job done. And they're going to put themselves in a nice position to make the first ever playoffs for this program. As Tyler Hollaback starts us off on a good note for CUC in the second set. Up 1-0 after the kill. Bails a serve. Having to go down to it was Dermody, and now Vozenelik blocked up front but out. CUC picks up another point. Fails to serve again with that long run up that he does. Ball popped up. Here's a Mosher to Moeller, and not being able to get enough on it was Griffith. And the Cougars now up by 3 points, 3-0. I'll send Vales back to serve again. And this one touches the ground. So Vozenelik gets the point for CUC as they open up this set 2 on a 4-0 run. Gonna see if they can keep it going with Vales set to serve once again. Kills from Hollaback, Vozenelik, Moeller, and Vozenelik again is how we got to this 4-0 lead. As this block makes it a 5-0 lead. Cougars on fire to start set 2 here. The Eagles just cannot get anything going offensively. They're going to have to stop the bleeding here soon, or set 2 is going to get out of hand quick. As a little bit of a mess up there from Hill Zastro. This block sent back. Whistle blown, point Edgewood, violation on CUC. So not the prettiest way to get it, but the Eagles do get a point back. Make it 5-1 as Chapman goes back to serve. Quick break to have some words between the ladder judge, Tyler Hollaback, and then Hollaback to his coach, Greg Manos. And a errant reception there from Rosen. Cougars able to rebound nicely, and then stuffing it in the face up front was Kevin Netzheim, excuse me. That is Heim 8th in the conference in hitting percentage, coming into tonight at a mark of .313. That won't matter there as the Cougars get the point, though, up by 4. And now the senior, Chris Livesay, into serve. Livesay serve taken over by Edgewood as Griffith has to send it over, and Eli Mosher going up for the dunk. CUC continues to build on this early lead they've gathered, 7-2, but cutting into it a little bit is Hill Zastro. Will Gerke, his serve. Taking a bad bounce off the forearms of Rosen, so a service ace goes to Gerke, and now they pull within 3 as Gerke back to serve. Gerke 6th in the conference in assists per set. So the setter doing good work for the Eagles. There's a strong block up front by Patterson. Vozenelik sends a floater over the front line. Now he pops it up for Mosher, who gives it off to Vales, who just sends it over. Gerke. And nice dig there by Rosen. Vales and Vozenelik collide. They run back to get into play. And an errant attack from Hill Zastro. Vozenelik might have gotten a piece of it. Vozenelik almost taking out Vales. Didn't look like that hard of a collision, but Vozenelik staying at 6'7", 220. Meanwhile, Vales at 6 foot, 165. Bit of a size mismatch for number 7 in white. Good thing they're on the same side, though, as they get back up. Line up with the rest of their Cougar teammates for Eli Mosher to serve. No, Vozenelik pops it up, the whistle blown. Cougars too close to the net on that one. This lead back down to 3. Zastro to serve. Vales diving dig for Vozenelik. And Hollaback just pops it over. Gerke now. This floater, great dig, Blake Rosen. Colby Campbell hits it into the net, though. The Eagles get the point. Serve here by Hill Zastro. A rocket to Rosen. Mosher now for Hollaback. Awesome dig there by Griffith. Keeps things alive. Mosher now for Rosen. Hollaback again. Jammed up front, but out of bounds is the block. Cougars point. Vozenelik now. Griffith, Gerke, block. Griffith popped it up somehow. Now the Cougars are forced to play it. Mosher to Hollaback. And not able to get under it enough as Gerke's Hollaback gets the kill. Having a word with the ladder official is Griffith, the senior libero for the Eagles. Griffith having a great season defensively, 3rd in the conference in digs per set at 2.88. And in the game already, Griffith with 5. As the Cougars get the point there and make it 11-6 now. Rosenalik. A rocket to Griffith. He sends it over now. Rosenalik. Mosher set up David Vales. Blocked up front and out. Cougars point. They are doubling up the Eagles now. 12-6. Edgewood got as close as 2 points not too long ago, and the Cougars just on an impressive run now. 4-0 scoring run for CUC. As Griffith gets a hold of that serve. Mosher bounces off him and into the stands. Esmond Gymnasium expectedly packed tonight for senior night for last regular season game. But plenty of the Cougars faithful here, hoping this isn't the last game for their Cougars, who are putting together such an impressive season. As Campbell goes in on the offensive and is rewarded for it. CUC taking down Dominican this season for the first time in program history. And then just last week on Wednesday, Cougars taking down Benedictine to give the Eagles of Benedictine their first conference loss of the season against former CUC head coach Ron Katarzinski, no less. As this is hit into the net before successfully knocked over by Dermody, and errant attack there by Moeller gives possession to the Eagles now. That'll lead to Patterson. Patterson too much on that one, so Eagle service error gives the ball right back to CUC. And Tyler Hollaback. And a hard attack there at the net by Chapman. Cougars blockers couldn't do much about it as it hit their hands and died down. Now Edgewood coming to this lead a little bit, down by just 5 as Dermody serve played by the Cougars, and just inside the line, Tyler Hollaback gets the point. David Vales to serve. High arc on that serve, and that's going to turn into a service ace. Eagles not able to handle the Vales serve, and now Eagles back for another one, hoping to repeat the success, put his team up by 8. Playing it above his head is Patterson, and triple block up front, but not able to realign quickly enough to prevent the Gerke kill as the Eagles hit double digits in this second set. Chapman to serve now. Vales, that one popped up behind him. And now Vozenelik goes for the tip. Off the blocker's hands, point CUC. Ladder official initially called it an Eagles point before the official over by the scorers table told her it did tip off a couple Eagles fingertips. So Cougars back up to 7-point lead as Livesay serve. It's played by the Eagles successfully for the point. And now Gerke back to serve once again. Gerke does have a service ace already tonight, along with his team leading 14 assists. And now Vozenovic, cross-court rocket for the kill. And Cougars back up by 7, just 7 away now from point number 25, clinching this second set. Rosen, Mosher, here's Hollaback, gets the kill. Tyler Hollaback adds point number 19, gets kill number 7, ties Vozenovic for the match lead. And Mosher try and get his team to point number 20. Campbell reached too far over the net. Blake Rosen and Tyler Hollaback having some words with the latter official as she explains to them her call. Now Edgewood gets to go ahead to serve. Rosen, clean dig. Now a nice dig there by Griffith. Blocked up front, right back to Dermody. And the Cougars hit point 20. 20 set to serve 12. Vozenovic to serve. Griffith goes down to a knee for that one, and it hits the pin. Can't do that. Cougars get point 21. Now just 4 away from claiming set 2 as a service error on Vozenovic. Six service errors on the season coming into tonight's contest. And Hollaback getting an arm on it was Mills. So now it's the freshman Deontay Garcia. Garcia waits for the sign from head coach Greg Manos. And now with his team up 9 to serve. Gerke, Chapman. His attack stopped by Mosher. Now Vale sends a high one over where Mills is able to get a piece of it. Griffith pops it up now. Mills too much on that one. Though they're going to say it touched a Cougar. So the Eagle point brings them within 8. Hollaback now off a couple blockers' hands. Griffith reads it nicely though. And this serve goes out. An attack goes out, not a serve. Now Hollaback. And a nice kill there for Dermody. Gets his team back within 8. Can only afford to give up one more point though. The Cougars at 23. Dermody now. Vozenovic for Mosher. Here goes Tavares Davis Williams, and it's stopped by Patterson. blocked up front, touches the ground now, so making their last stand are the Eagles here. Still trailing the Cougars by 7. So Zenelik plays that one above his hand. A little one-handed attempt there from Mosher. Now this one's going to be sent back over. And good read there by the Eagles. We're making a little run here, 3-0. Rosen from Mosher. Here goes Vales now. Griffith not under it enough. And now the set point. David Vales trying to finish off the Eagles here in set 2. They're just going to have to send a freebie over where Vozenelik reads it. Mosher ends it. Eli Mosher sends it over the net, gives the Cougars point 25 as they take set 2 here in Geisman Gymnasium. 25-17, take a commanding 2-0 lead over the Eagles in the match. And now we're going to head to the break. But first, a quick look at some of the statistical leaders for the night. Luke Vozenelik, Tyler Hallbeck, each with 7 kills to lead the match. Meanwhile, the Edgewood team kill leader is Hill Zastro with 5. In terms of assists, it is the freshman Eli Mosher doing what he's been doing all season with 20 assists so far through 2 sets. Will Gerke with 18. Meanwhile, the dig leader is still Eli Mosher with 8. Dylan Griffith right behind him with 7, though. But however it shakes down, Cougars currently up on the Eagles 2-0 after the 25-17 set 2 win. We're going to head to set 3 here in Geisman in just a minute. You're watching the Cougars Sports Network. Back here on the Cougar Sports Network, CUC up on Edgewood in a must-win game for playoff seeding. We're currently up 2-0. Before we get back to the broadcast, back to the game, we want to say thanks to everyone making this Cougar Sports Network production possible. Julia Beers and Janie Turnus working production tonight. On camera is Amaya Martin, and then down on the other side of the court, Ashley Schroll. On scoreboard, Kate Johnson tracking the libero. Emily Balaban helping with stat spotting. Meanwhile, Saba Miller floating around taking photographs. And we're under the direction of Cindy Plasky-Slaher and our sports information director, Kayla McLeod. But as for the game in hand, Cougars up 2-0 on the Eagles after that 25-17 set 2 win. Cougars took set 1, 25-14. And now the Eagles, backs against the wall, have to win 3 straight sets to take tonight's matchup. Meanwhile, Cougars cannot afford to drop tonight's matchup or they will be knocked out of playoff contention. They need a win here tonight and then some help against Marion and Dominican in the next couple of days as Tyler Hollabeck starts off the Cougars on the right foot with the kill. And up 1-0 now. It is Vales to serve. Vales already has a pair of service aces this match as Edgewood goes for the kill. Cougars able to stop it, and that one blocked, and knocking Chapman to the ground is the Vozenelik attempt. So Vales will go back for a serve once again. Good serve by Vales. Gerke. Blocked up front. Stonewall. Eli Mosher. Andre Moeller. Now the Cougars up by 3. As Griffith. Vozenelik tries to put it over, and this goes out of bounds. Make it 4-0 in favor of the Cougars. CUC got out to a similarly hot start back in set 2. We saw how that set ended, hoping for repeat success here in set 3 and to close tonight's matchup against the Eagles. Chapman blocked out of bounds, so the Eagles get on the board here in set 3. That sends Bradley Reynolds to the service line. Mosher, Hollabeck. Missile from number 9 and White on his senior night. And now 5-1 in favor of the team on the left of your screen. Chris Livesay, senior, being honored tonight. Skirky set up Hill Zastro. It doesn't go anywhere, so Hill Zastro sends one over. Mosher for Hollabeck. And Patterson can't handle the heat. Cougars up by 5 now. Livesay serve. Mosher taking a swat at it is Vozenelik. And that in the net from Reynolds, sophomore outside hitter from Waukesha, Wisconsin. And 7-1 the lead now. Wondering if Coach Thomas of Edgewood thinking about using that timeout, because this match is already getting out of hand as it continues to do so. Eli Mosher solo block. Not expecting that out of the freshman setter. Mosher keeps it alive for Campbell. Hollabeck, too much on that one. Eight to 2 now as Eagles gets control for the first time in a while. And that'll lead to Bryce Robel, excuse me. And his first serve into the net. So here goes Mosher, number 11 in white, the freshman, having himself an absolutely fantastic campaign as Edgewood keeps this one alive. Reynolds, a extremely strong push, goes out of bounds. Cougars up by 8 now. And Mosher, as this one is sent over to the Cougar side. CUC wasn't ready for it, able to rebound nicely. And Gerke, a little sneak attack, pays off. And now Gerke goes back to the line to serve. Vales. Rosenelek pushes all the way to Hollabeck, who's blocked up front, fortunately right into Mosher's hands. Now Hollabeck, and that goes backwards off Rosen's hand and out. We just got an update from people looking at the stats. Tyler Hollabeck, 3 kills away from the NAC single season kills record. Hollabeck came into tonight with a total of 349 kills. He's gained himself 10 already. So if he can pick up another 3, that single season record is his. So here's Vozenelik now. Griffith able to dig it out. Sent back to the Cougars. Mosher to Rosen. Here goes Hollabeck. Gerke into the net. Point Cougars. And a service ace, Luke Vozenelik. Cougars continue to roll here in set 3. Gerke, and getting the kill is Hill Zastro. Hollabeck now at 2 kills away from that record. It's a record that was established just last year by Derek Willows of Marion. As Cougars earn the point there, the record at 361. So with his 11 kills tonight, Hollabeck currently standing at 360. So he needs 1 to tie it. So he's got at least 10 points left. The Cougars just 10 away from claiming this match. As here he goes for another one. Too much though. It goes out of bounds, gives Eagles the point. The serve is Andrew Hoffman. Hoffman, freshman out of Hartford, Wisconsin. Little flying one-handed flip from Moeller, and sending that one to the net is Reynolds. So Tyler Hollabeck, the man 1 kill away from setting, tying the NAC single season kill record. Griffith for Gerke. Chapman, great dig by Hollabeck, but it goes out of bounds. off the next attempt from the Cougars. Cougars earn the point there. David Bayless to serve. This one off the top of the net, it looks like the Cougars now. Here goes Hollaback to tie the NAC single season record. Assuming that is a kill given by the stat department, Tyler Hollaback has just tied the single season NAC record for kills, as he's now just one away from breaking it. And some sloppy defense there from the Eagles gives the Cougars point number 19. Bales service air gives the point back to the Eagles. So it was an official kill from Tyler Hollaback, which means he's tied the NAC single season record in kills. Ties Derek Wills from Marion in 2020 with 361. So all eyes now going to be on Hollaback to see if he could set the conference record, because he's got just 5 points left to do it now. Cougars up 20-18 over Edgewood. As some substitutions here for CUC. Chris Lipsey in to serve. Tavares Davis Williams also checking in on his senior night. What a night it would be for Tyler Hollaback, breaking the conference single season record for kills on his senior night. Also helping his team in their playoff push. A win would go a long way here, as Davis Williams and Mosher putting up a block party up front. Cougars just 4 away from a huge win over Edgewood. Livesay serve, played by Griffith. Gerke, sneak attack is successful. The Eagles now sit at 9 points in this third set. Gonna have to put in Herculean effort here if they want to come back. Mosher, he's going to set up Hollaback for the record. Almost gets it. He's inches away from it. It's a nice pancake there, keeps play alive. Here goes Mosher. Hollaback's going to go for it again, and it's just out of bounds. Tyler Hollaback, the first attempt, probably inches away from hitting the ground. Great defense from Edgewood, and then on his second attempt in the volley, hits it out of bounds. Edgewood now at point number 10. As Mosher sets up Hollaback, and there it is! A new single season kill record in the conference. Tyler Hollaback, 362 kills. And he's edged his name in the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference record book. And he brings his team just 3 points away from a win over Edgewood on senior night. Last regular season game of the season, as Gerke goes back to serve his Eagles down by 11. Doing everything they can to come back in this third set and force at least set number 4. Still got a ways to go as Luke Vozenelik says, I'm still here, earns the kill. Luke Vozenelik to bring the Cougars to set point. Gerke, it's going to be a tough play. A backwards block from Tavares Davis-Williams goes out of bounds. Not sure what Davis-Williams was attempting to do on that one, as he gets the shake of a head from Coach Manos. Tried to go for the kill there. Hollebeck, excuse me, gets another kill, adding on to his record number, and that brings the Cougars within 1 of claiming the match tonight and putting themselves into playoff position. Deontay Garcia to serve here. And Edgewood. And it's out of bounds, and that'll do it. Cougars win on senior night. A huge game with major playoff implications, and the Cougars sweep the Eagles out of Geisman Gymnasium 3-0 after taking set 3, 25-12. That'll do it for the Cougars' regular season of 2023 in the books. CUC will finish the regular season at 13-12, 7-5 in conference play. Now, looking at the stats here, as we take a moment.
Last 2 kills in this match gives him a total of 363 for this season. That is a new season record in the NAC. Tyler Hallebeck, 363 kills.
So Tyler Hallebeck gets an extra bit of recognition on his senior night as we look at some of the final statistics from the night. Hallebeck led all kill getters with 14, and right behind him was his teammate Luke Vozenelik. In terms of assists, Eli Mosher, as he's done for most games this season, led the pack with 29, and then the digs leader for the night was also Mosher with 10. But before we close out the broadcast, we do have to look at those playoff standings now after the Cougars win. So the Cougars will jump to the 5th seed with their 7-5 conference record over Marion and Dominican, both of whom are 6-4. Cougars done with the regular season now. Dominican, on the other hand, who's now pushed into that 7th seed, the last team out of the playoffs. They'll take on MSOE tomorrow night at 7 p.m. And then this same Edgewood team will be back here in River Forest to take on the Dominican Stars on Saturday at 1 p.m. So the Stars could still end up with more wins than the Cougars, which of course would put them in a playoff spot. Meanwhile, Marion, they themselves have 2 games left to play as well. Both road matches at Benedictine, the top team in the conference, or at least were the top team in the conference, now sit at 2nd behind Aurora. They're at Benedictine on Friday night and then take on the Illinois Institute of Technology on Saturday afternoon. So Cougars currently in a playoff spot, but they got to watch for those last 2 games for both Dominican and Marion, as their playoff lives depend on what the Stars and Sabres do. But right here in Geisman, Cougars wrap up the 2023 regular season with a win on senior night. Luke Vozenelik, Colby Campbell, Tyler Hallebeck, Matthew Lambs, Tavares Davis-Williams, and Chris Livesay end their regular season Cougar careers on a high note, as now they just cross their fingers and hope that they'll have some playoff action in their future. But for now, that'll do it in Geisman. Want to say one more thanks to everyone making this production possible. Julia Beers and Janie Turnus on production. Amaya Martin working the camera over at the scores table. Ashley Schroll, Kate Johnson, and Emily Balaban. Sable Miller floating around taking photographs. Under the direction of Sydney Palacios-Lahar and Kayla McLeod. One more time, Cougars and the regular season 3-0 win over the Edgewood Eagles. But until next time, hopefully some playoff volleyball. This is Peter Borkowski signing off of the Cougar Sports Network and wanting to say, as always, go Cougars.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.